Hi, I'm Akshay.
Hi Mahesh.
We both are the co-founders of SAADAA. We started SAADAA 3 years back in December 2020.
So when we started, actually, we used to run a backpacker hostel together. In 2017 we launched that. That went really well. And hospitality is a far more difficult business, and what we realized at the end of the day was that we both had a very similar philosophy of life. We both know each other since we were 4 years old. तो एक बार ऐसे ही डिस्कस कर रहे थे कैफ़े में, me, him, and there was a friend of ours, and we were trying to discuss what can we do to, spread that same idea of life that we want to live. So that's how we ended up coming with the naming the brand SAADAA. तब ऐसे on an honest the honest view is कि तब कोई product नहीं था, but the idea was clear that we wanted to promote this idea of simplicity and a simple life, which we both were a fan of, and this was back in 2018. We registered the company in 2018. We didn't really do too many things there. जो भी try करा, nothing worked out. And when COVID came in, we saw an opportunity and we started post-COVID. चौबीस घंटे एक आदमी को कितना झेलो आप, ये असली कड़वी सच्चाई. बट ऐसा हो जाता है, that's like I think we spend too much time together. So how do we manage to separate personal and professional? If the real answer is I don't think we do.
We don't.
I think we trust each other too much. I think that's the parameter. हम नहीं करते इतना difference. नहीं करते ही नहीं है. तो it doesn't work like that.
Both combined.
Yeah. I think the right way to look at it is that it's easier to trust someone whom you know for a longer time. I don't think we have put it, कभी भी यार numbers के बारे में नहीं सोचा, but I think it's always been कि I think what we feel is कि जो life philosophy या जो भी whatever we want to spread out, we think there are a lot of people who I'm pretty sure are of a similar mindset, and the objective is to build a community. But ऐसे numbers के बारे में नहीं सोचा यार कभी.
I think the most recent ones have been
बोलो.
I personally saw a customer wearing our shirt at the Gurgaon railway station, and I spotted her and I asked her, like, are you wearing SAADAA? So it gives a very great feeling. वो ऐसी feeling होती है कि वो दिल में तृप्ति मिलने वाली होती है ना feeling. It's a very great joy.
हाँ, दिल में तृप्ति is not a bad word. Negative, yeah. I think one has happened to me. I have an acquaintance. I think she bought because she got to know that I run this business. So, but the sad part was, I think she got her friends got the right product. She got the wrong product, and it was a disaster. I think she called me out on it, even on my message. And I think somewhere or the other, it just gives you that thought कि है ना, आपको लग रहा होता है ना कि सब सही चल रहा है, फिर आपको लगता है नहीं ऐसे नहीं हो सकता है. So you have to focus a lot more on, it's not the journey is like getting to that level. You can't sit on your laurels. It's very hard that way.
I think the secret is to stay paranoid.
Yeah.
That something will fuck up. I think.
Murphy's law. Whatever bad can happen will happen. So I think if you have to believe that, especially when you start a business, you have to. And in India, that's the second one.
Yeah.
You have to do it. That is always happens.
One day in each wardrobe, for sure. Right now we don't do that because we feel कि every like a country or a continent has a different set of body shapes, and then those body shapes require different fitting, and
Size charts are
currently,
different.
हाँ, size charts are different. So अभी इंडिया ऑलरेडी इतना बड़ा मार्केट है कि जहाँ पे वी फील कि इट विल टेक अस ऑलमोस्ट next 5 years, because we feel we are not that as smart as others, so it takes more time for us to understand a market and like do things at our own pace.
It's easy to get distracted यार, मतलब again the philosophy in itself is you shouldn't get distracted, you do what actually matters. And I think for us, पहले हम लोग पूरी तरह इंडिया मार्केट फिगर आउट करी, we build the right quantum of community. I think that is a natural मतलब natural progression. टाइम के साथ होगा, but I think that is not what we are thinking about right now, to be very honest. Maybe in the future, like whenever this happens, it will happen.
Like at least since India is such a big country, ideally if we are able to get a double digit market share, so getting a bigger market share in a country and then like rather going international or in terms of different demographics is the aim. So we don't see sale as sale, मतलब our thesis is quite simple कि if someone buys more from us, we want to pass that discount to them, because if someone buys 2 or 3 or 4, we naturally end up saving money on say logistics हो गया, या overhead हो गया, एक बैग में 2 items आ रहे हैं, so small cost, and we pass that back to the consumer without them asking. And I think sale, and the thing with sale and the coupon codes is that people tend to there is always that friction कि coupon copy करो, चिपकाओ, coupon मिलेगा, कभी apply हुआ नहीं हुआ. So we ideally want to remove friction as well, and we feel कि sale is like a not something that aligns with our philosophy.
I think the way we have to look at it is that discounts are generally looked at as an attention metric. मतलब they are to grab short-term attention.
It's a clickbait.
Yeah, and but for the longer term, what we have to realize that the end consumer is smart, and India is तो, if you look at the Indian market, जो इंडिया का consumer है बहुत smart है, and they also look out for offers. तो आपने एक बार सेल चला दी तो you have already diluted your ethos to them once. So I think मतलब हमारा again, because our philosophy is very simple and we मतलब genuinely we are honest people, मतलब क्या है जो करना है transparently करना है, इतना complicate नहीं करना है. तो for the consumer also अगर उसको ये सोचना नहीं पड़ रहा है कि when to buy also, that is one question less. And then also there is a मतलब what we want to build is it's a long term trust कि आपको पता है कि एक X value है and you will always get the product at X value and you don't have to think about it. The way you perceive the brand has to be that way, and I think we have more or less tried to do that, and we don't want to again get distracted by any मतलब जो भी अभी कोई नया ट्रेंड चल रहा है या कोई नया कोई सिस्टम है. So I think it makes sense for us. I think that is actually, I think it's a counter वो, because I think people have actually liked the fact कि कॉम्प्लिकेशन नहीं है या फिर इट्स नॉट इवन हिडन डिस्काउंट या कुछ ड्रामा नहीं है या आपको सोचना नहीं पड़ रहा है. आई थिंक दैट इज़ वर्क फॉर अस, एंड एज अक्षय ऑलरेडी मैंशनड कि द होल प्राइसिंग सिस्टम इज़ सो ट्रांसपेरेंट कि इंटरनली, आई विल बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, इंटरनली आई थिंक वी हैव अ मेट्रिक कि दिस इज़ द मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट वी वांट टू अर्न. इट्स नॉट अबाउट द मनी, इट्स अबाउट तभी हम लोग बल्क डिस्काउंटिंग करते हैं, क्योंकि इफ़ समवन बाइज अ सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स, क्योंकि हमारी कॉस्ट थोड़ी सी कम हो रही है, जैसे लॉजिस्टिक्स कम हो गया, पैकेजिंग की कॉस्ट थोड़ी कम हो जाती है, ओवरहेड्स मार्जिनलाइज हो जाते हैं क्योंकि इट गेट्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड टू अ लार्जर क्वांटम ऑफ पीसेस. तो क्या है हमारे लिए वो डिस्काउंट पास ऑन करना, एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी एंड अप पासिंग इट ऑन टू द एंड कंज्यूमर, एंड हमारा मार्जिन सेम रहता है. तो फंडामेंटली दैट्स द सिस्टम, एंड इट्स बेस्ड ऑन ऑनेस्टी एंड ट्रांसपेरेंसी.
And also for the fact that we have like other brands do कि 700 की चीज़ है उसको मतलब 2000 का दिखा के 1000 में बेच देते हैं, मतलब whatever
साल में एक बार बेचेंगे.
But as a practice, like in 3 years we have just increased the price of our product by 100 rupees once on the cotton pant, and we have not kind of even changed or like revamped our pricing, irrespective of all the inflation, etc. So the reason why we have been able to still do the same, still offer the product at the same price has been the support of our customers. Ki, since it's a repeat, a lot of it is there are have a repeat purchase with us, so that really helps us in marginalizing our cost and help us in offering the product at the same price and keeping it economical and affordable.
Actually, what he's pointing out, जो larger, जो increment है ना 100 रुपये का भी जो हुआ है, that was also because yarn prices for the commodity, cotton जो commodity है उसकी yarn prices double से ऊपर हो गए, and that risk of commodity pricing going extremely high है. मतलब somewhere or the other we cannot always expect the customer to understand, but that's why like we ended up increasing the price. It's not going into our pockets. ऐसा नहीं कि हमारा margin कोई better हो रहा है. But I think the benefit actually is कि इतने सारे customers हैं. As we have grown, that growth has actually propelled us to marginalize our marketing cost थोड़ी कम हो गई, overhead cost थोड़ी कम हो गई, क्योंकि इतने सारे product बेच रहे हैं. Overall we've been able to sustain that.
Ideally, sustainability as a word, मतलब as I said कि मतलब मैं तो उतना होशियार नहीं हूँ, तो मेरे को अभी तक समझ में नहीं आता इस वर्ड का मतलब होता क्या है. Because I tried reading it on, although well, like the irony is that we still have the word in our name, SAADAA, sustainable. But I think sustainability is a very over abused term. People use that frequently to just मतलब it becomes a very catchy phrase जिससे सबको associate करना होता है. Because practically speaking, on an environmental impact, we try to minimize the use of plastic and non-biodegradable materials, reducing the use so that it contributes to a better environment health. So that is the simple logic of trying to do what we do. कि उसमें भी जो भी tags होते हैं, seed papers होते हैं, we have that concept of instead of plain paper we use seed paper, so that even if people end up throwing paper, अगर किसी ने बाहर सड़क पे भी फेंक दिया तो there is a chance कि यार वो मतलब पौधा बन सकता है.
Even if it goes to the landfill, it's not something that does not dissolve. It has no plastic on, मतलब वो plastic covering भी नहीं है. At the end of the day it gets dissolved. कुछ पेड़ उगेगा तो फ़ायदा ही होगा. मतलब, and I think one of the largest commandments, but he's right, sustainability is not the right word, and I think we are also letting go of that word of practical sustainability anyways. I think the right word to use is how we can get more durability and how we can make it circular, because the best, मतलब अगर अपन एक कितनी भी study कर लें, the right way to measure कि what is the environmental impact is to actually consume less. There is nothing more. उससे बढ़िया कुछ नहीं है. अगर if we buy less and we use the product that we have a lot more, then उससे ज़्यादा बड़ा impact कुछ भी नहीं है. I think that particular aspect in itself gives you a very important insight on what's the right way to go. So that is one aspect whenever we do product development. बहुत durability centered चीज़ें होती हैं, fabric selection में भी होता है, सब कुछ होता है. Then beyond it there is the element of how we can make everything more reusable, more like the whole journey of the particular garment or the material that we do, सबकी journey circular इस sense में हो कि it eventually comes back. Either it is reused or it goes into some kind of an initiative, या तो वो plant हो रहा है which is good for the environment. So the purpose is to build something like that, and I think we are working towards it comprehensively. I think we'll get there.
To be honest, it's very difficult to constantly be in touch with everyone. Although we try our best to make it happen, since it's been more than 100 people, like 100 plus family of who's been working with us and helping it grow. So I think we're like mentally, emotionally, physically, we're still absorbing the fact as well. Because for us as well, it's the first time to have built an organization which has been, जहाँ पे 100 प्लस से ज़्यादा लोग हो गए हैं. तो and I think indirectly we do end up working with more than like 300 people
at least.
एक मतलब एक अच्छी फीलिंग आती है कि we are able to kind of work with smart people, smarter minds, and you get to learn a lot every day, because our learnings also depend on the people we work with. So yeah, it's a new learning every day.
Actually, I think an interesting nuance to note is, beyond what he said, majority of our customers are between 25 to 45. मतलब बहुत majority ये है कि एज टारगेट है, but हमारी टीम बहुत यंग है. If you look at it, so all of these young individuals are trying to solve problems for a generation before them. It's a very interesting nuance. And I think one of the most interesting aspects has been, actually, I would say that after a certain amount of time, our even personal motivation is to make sure that everyone in the team understands what we are trying to do. And trying to do that, like, I think most of our time actually is going towards that. Ki people understand the broader vision, take that level of ownership, that it's exactly, and the fact that a lot of our team has been able to do that is something that has, I think, I don't think you can compare that feeling to a lot of other things. So I think that has been a very interesting aspect, and because it's our first time, ऐसा हम लोग भी पहली बार ही कर रहे हैं. Everything is very new for us. क्योंकि सब कुछ बहुत नया है, तो it's not कि we don't face new instances, मतलब from the team. तो सब कुछ ना कुछ नया होता रहता है. So मतलब अभी 100 लोग हैं, तो I think we've tried to know a lot of people by faces and by names, but it's getting harder by the minute. There is a principle कि 150 लोगों से ऊपर आप you cannot remember. So I think what we are trying to build is a culture of people who actually think the same way, and then eventually can take care of the people who are working with them also. तो वो पूरी chain continued रहे somewhere or the other. Because I think our job now, more than anything else, is if we take care of our team, I think they will take care of the best customer experience to deliver.
रहो सादा, पहनो सादा.
So I think the only way to think about it, I think, see, the fundamental of the brand is very simple. We live in a world which is now too much information, too many choices, too many things to do, and unfortunately we often forget what's important. And this is virtually our way of going towards that same philosophy that you as a person can let go of most of the things, क्योंकि बहुत सारी चीज़ें important नहीं हैं. मतलब majority of the things in your life are not very important. But I remember, so actually one thing I want to share is, I remember a podcast by Naval Ravikant. I remember him saying a very interesting aspect. 90% of the world's problems are solved if a person can sit by themselves for 10 minutes. It's a very interesting aspect. Just to give people ki, it's very easy to get, like, everyone's
So cluttered, everything is in your face. I think we need to take a step back, know what's important in this, focus on that. It gives us more joy. That's more or less. So मतलब our objective, even if you're doing kapda as a category, our objective is कि जो, like, everyone has those few garments, या ऐसा मेरे पास कोई particular garment है that you absolutely love. आपको कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा, वही पहनोगे, right? आपको कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा, वही पहनोगे. तो we want to build that. I think that's the thing that we want to eventually deliver. Yeah, like a no-brainer choice is what we really want to do. And
बेसिक्स पे कोई ध्यान नहीं देता यार. मतलब रियलिटी है कि अगर ऐसे सोचे कि कपड़े की कैटेगरी में क्या है, a lot of these big brands, everyone sells a lot via basics, but everyone wants a lot of basics, but basics are never the hero. I think what we are trying to do is basics are the hero. To be honest, I think all the products that we do are not actually age agnostic. They are the selection of the product is key, it is for everyone. And ऐसा नहीं है कि 18 to 25 वाला लोग are not our customers. the majority of people who are our customers are between 25 to 45. That's a different statement. But it's not age agnostic. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि इस एज के लोग नहीं पहनेंगे. But मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि I think the fact that a lot of young people are now understanding minimalism and living a more simpler life, I think that number is only growing. So I think a lot of people who want to do, who actually believe that philosophy will end up choosing us. It's not, I don't think. कुछ products ऐसे हैं जो और ज़्यादा मतलब for example we are doing more stretchable garments. I think eventually that would be, जैसे athleisure is a very big thing in younger audiences. So we're doing more stretchable garments. That would be, I think that would have a larger receptance in the younger audiences. But I don't think we are age agnostic.
But the one thing is that, like what I have personally seen is that as we grow old, from 18 to that transition of 30, initially people, when they're young, they will experiment a lot. But as you grow old, you tend to get
very true.
Very peculiar about what you want and the kind of choices you would want to make. So I think the people, once they are done with trends and all the fads, that is when they really want to settle on something no-brainer. And that is why I think a lot of people who end up resonating with us
are relatively older. Huh?
Yeah, because they've learned the hard truth of life कि मतलब consumerism is a disease, and like if you have to like kind of stay away from that, like you have to be very focused on what you want, because as you grow old you need to ensure on the quality of your life as well, because that is something that you लोग पैसा कमाना चालू करते हैं, they always want to invest on quality, and instead of kind of making that decision again and again on what to wear or like on those everyday choices, I think that is what I have personally observed while like being in that loop of, in that orbit of growing old from
18 to 30. That's actually a very interesting point, because as you grow older you get more stubborn with what you want, and you also build more affinity कि मेरे को ये अच्छा लग रहा है तो मैं यही करूँगा. And as you get more strong-headed or more fixated with the particular things, you end up liking the same thing again and again. So that's a behavioral change that happens with time. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people eventually end up choosing us. But there is one more part to what he's saying, that as you get older, because you value reliability and comfort a lot more than what it looks, because the unfortunate reality is कि बहुत बार जो बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़िया दिख रहा है या फिर कुछ टाइम के लिए बढ़िया दिख रहा है, that is not the most comfortable outfit, and the societal standards for beauty also play a role. So somewhere or the other, I think as you get older, because you choose reliability and comfort a lot more, that's why I think we come in the picture for a relatively older age. But I think जो भी लोग 18 to 24 में कर रहे हैं, I think they are smart people who have figured this out.
I think, and we are not an aspirational brand. We have not tried it to build an aspirational brand, because aspirations are again, they just fade away with time. And while focusing on being timeless, business wise it's a harder choice, but we also believe कि we are in this for a longer run, and that's why we really want to build something that is not just sits on trends, but rather something that you would rely on when you, like a no-brainer choice when it comes to quality and price.
Quality should not be a luxury generally, but it is being portrayed like that. रहो सादा पहनो सादा. That should be the message. But I think from a perspective of what we want to give,
I think in these 3 years we have worked with like a lot of people, a lot of vendors. I think we have made mistakes. We have done good. We have done bad. for all the bad we have done, we can just apologize. For all the good we have done, the credit goes to the team. That's it.
I think the right way to think about it is, I think the emotion that we have is that we are grateful, to be very honest, because as we said, we have not really imagined numbers. Whatever we are doing, we are just doing whatever's coming into our head, and then it's an iterative process. We are grateful to the team for the effort, grateful for the fact that consumers have still placed their trust in us. So I think that gratefulness is what is the standard emotion, and that is now become a driving factor. And in reality, I think if there was only one message, it's that things are simple if you want it to be simple.
And also, I think the secret that we have learned that we would want to share with the team is that if we really want to chase longevity in terms of staying relevant, we'll have to be consistent. So consistent in terms of product quality, customer support, that experience. So I think if we don't stay consistent, we will just evaporate. We'll not be relevant. So I think that is the thing that I would want to share with the team. Ki whatever we are doing, be it a small task, bigger task, we have to be consistent, and we have to pour our heart out. That is it.
For the team?
Yeah.
I think the right message for the team is, one, to understand that everyone needs to have higher standards, because somewhere or the other we can become what we want to become. The limit is in our mind. So I think a lot of what we want to do is very achievable, and in the world we live in right now, opportunities are endless. There is so much to do, so much to get, and so much learning. तो आई थिंक नो सेकेंड थॉट्स ऑन इट कि जो आप सोच सकते हो कि कर सकते हो, सब हो सकता है. एंड द लार्जर विजन इज़ फॉर द टीम टू have more beyond consistency, have a mindset of more collaboration, where, so I think the best relationships are when it's never about what you are getting, it's all about just giving. So that altruism, if just imagine if everyone was like that, we would live in a utopian world. So I think if we can build something like that internally, that would change it, that would create something that is very difficult to create. I think that's what I would like. That's the BHAG, to do that, where everyone just helps each other out, and it's not about what you get. It's not even about the results. It's about putting the right mindset and right effort, and then you have that altruism towards the whole team, the right camaraderie, and I think things will work automatically. We are grateful for whatever support we've gotten, and the only way we see this growing is that we end up becoming better, and everything that we offer to the consumers is better. That's probably it.
Yeah.
We thank them for 350,000. Please keep telling us what you want next, so that we can work on it promptly.
Yep.
हाँ, इनको पिलाओ. और भाई बहुत बढ़िया है. हाँ, इसके हाथ में ही है सारा सामान. अरे तू जानबूझ के कर रहा है ना तू ये. दिस इज नॉट द बिहेवियर. लगेगा समय, बहुत माल है इसमें.
Thank you.